Maybe recently you found yourself shocked, disappointed, disgusted by the news of the child abuse scandal in the church. And while this is a really difficult time, I think it gives each and every one of us pause to stop and to reflect and to think about where we are as a church. And it just so happens we've been talking around holiness, and maybe though that might seem to do nothing, have nothing to do with what's going on in the church today. But in Pope Francis's recent apostolic exhortation, Rejoice and Be Glad, the last chapter is around the spiritual battle. And if we're honest with ourselves, what's been uncovered is evil. And it's an awakening for us to realize there is a horrible spiritual battle going on. And this isn't just an analogy for our lives or an analogy for how we live out our faith. It's what's happening in front of us. And evil, terrible, evil, disgusting acts were perpetrated upon innocent children. And I think one of the things that someone asked recently to me, they said, well, how can we evangelize? How can we share our faith in the midst of this craziness? And I think first and foremost, that when we respond to people, we're talking to people maybe who don't have faith, is that we should express that we are just as outraged. We are just as disgusted. But that we are committed to bringing evil into the light. Because what happens when evil is hidden is that it's allowed to continue. So I believe, as a church, we need to not just say we're sorry. We need to not just commit to reforms and commit to things not happening again, but we have to fight against evil and root out evil. And that's across the church, but that's in our own lives too. And so I encourage you, to look at your life, to look at how we live our lives individually, and to say, we are not going to permit evil to happen. And when we see something, we're going to do something about it. And the thing is that we recognize, even in the midst of tremendous suffering, of tremendous pain, that we can be there with people, and we can help them, and we can love them. And we can be encouraged that we have a God who suffers with us, who understands our suffering, but a God who also is bigger than any evil. A God whose love really changes hearts, heals hearts, does amazing things. And so, despite the fact that Satan can seem like this terrible monster at times, we have to remember we have a God who loves us passionately, a God who is greater than any evil. And that when we choose to follow him and we choose to fight for what is right, we can make a difference. And I believe that each and every one of us can make a difference and can help to build our church up, help to encourage others, help to love others. So even though this scandal is disheartening, is challenging, is disgusting, we can make a difference by allowing God to work in us, by being a part of a church that is repenting, a church that is saying, I'm sorry, and a church that is continuing to try and love the world. And so I encourage you today to really embrace what it means to be Catholic, embrace Jesus, embrace the church, and to fight against all evil, and to be committed to bringing the things that are unjust, that are not right, into the light, so healing can take place, so justice can happen, and ultimately so that God can be known in the world today.